Hey guys, Rodney with Kentucky Personal Defense and Safety. Just sitting here, but I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one, went yesterday and looky there, picked up my new, Kentucky concealed carry license. And I know some people will say, well, why'd you do that? Kentucky is going to be a constitutional carry state. You don't have to have a permit to carry in Kentucky. Well, that's true. Here in a couple of months, I think July, if I'm not positive, no lawful citizen, anyone who's legally allowed to own a firearm, nobody has to have a concealed carry license to carry concealed in the state of Kentucky. So why did I do it? Well, I'll tell you right now, I did it, and in 5 years, I'll get it again. And I recommend that any of my students, any of my friends, co-workers, anybody like that, I recommend they get a Kentucky concealed carry license. And people have said, well, why? I don't have to. You're right, you don't have to. But I've got a few reasons to say why. Number one, okay, if I want to travel outside of the state of Kentucky, I have to have a license for reciprocity. Number two, the cops can see that I have a concealed carry license if they pull me over, or if I just show them the license. They know that I've been through a background check, and therefore they know that I'm at least a lawful card-carrying good guy, if you want to call it that. Number three is if I go to buy a firearm, I can put the concealed carry license down, fill out the form, and they don't have to run a background check on me when I buy the firearm, because the background check is run on you, I believe it's every 29 days automatically by the state of Kentucky. So, and then there's the other reason is, and this one I'm not positive on. I've been told this. It's not one I'm positive on, so don't hold me to it. Is if you have your concealed carry license, you don't get in trouble for the whole issue of carrying a firearm within 1,000 feet of a school zone. Okay. I'm not positive on that one. I know you're not allowed to carry on the school property, no matter what. But I've been told that the school zone issue is not a problem if you're carrying concealed legally with a license. Not positive on that one, okay? And then the last reason, and to me one of the biggest, is the fact that if you've taken a class, you've at least been given some firearm safety training. Also some basic handling training. And if you take one of my classes, which I do a few different ones, I know you have at least a basic understanding of how to shoot a firearm if you need to, all the way up to what some people would consider a fairly advanced level, shooting under stress, shooting on the move, shooting multiple targets, shooting from cover. What is cover? How to work with a holster, how to draw from concealment, how to work one-handed with a firearm, okay? Then there's, in that training is also what I consider to be, even though I know the basic concealed carry licensing course that is offered in the state of Kentucky, the one run by the Department of Criminal Justice Training, which I am a certified instructor for, apart from also teaching my own course under with my instructor credentials from another agency. Those courses I know are boring, but they cover one major part, and probably the single most important part that people without a license don't know, and that's the law. Where you can and where you cannot use a firearm, and when you can and when you cannot use a firearm to protect your life, your family's life, or somebody else's life. That's covered. It also explains where you're allowed to carry, where you're not allowed to carry. There's a lot of people out there right now that'll be carrying a firearm that have no idea. Okay, so training I think is critical, but we can't force it on you. Okay. Oh, by the way, the greatest drink ever created, Ale 81, Kentucky staple. This one's the diet version, trying to lose weight. Okay. Also want to mention the shirt I'm wearing right now is it's Firearms. It's FIST is the name of the group. It's Firearms Integrated Self-Defense Training. It's run by a friend of mine named Sebastian Gaskins in Flemingsburg. Okay. If you ever get the opportunity, great instructor. Okay. If you ever get the chance to train with him, he's great. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about today is just a few things. I mentioned some stuff on the Facebook when I posted, but I want to show things a little bit as what I carry as far as a firearm and how do I carry them. And I don't mean location on my body. It's depending on what I'm using. Okay. The first one is, of course, my Glock 36. It's a 45 caliber single stack. People say that the Glock 42 was the first single stack Glock. I had this for well over 10 years before the 42 came out. Okay, single stack 45 caliber. The only thing I've done to it is replace the sights. I personally like the AmeriGlow, the iDot form. They're similar to the Heine Straight 8. I'll actually show them to you. You can see the dots there. It's a nice wide rear notch and a thin front post, but they are night sights, so they work great. With this gun, I've got a couple of different holsters that I can use. One is the Concealment Solutions Black Mamba. This is a great holster. It's an inside the waistband. The hybrid design, which is a leather backing that goes against your skin, and a Kydex shell. The clips allow for it to be tuckable as well. It is very, very, very secure when you're wearing it. Nice positive retention, even sitting here, okay, without wearing it. But when your body actually presses against the back of the gun, it's pretty solid, okay? It's a great holster, extremely comfortable. I wore this holster at a training course done by a gentleman who makes the holster. One of the other holsters I'll show you in a moment. It's a Q Series. They did a training. It's Gary Quisenberry. Did a 2-day training course with him. Or actually, I'm sorry, it was 2 separate days, 2 separate courses that I did with him. I've probably put in those 2 courses, I'd have to say probably 1,000 draws on this holster. And they were during the summer and early fall, and wore it 10 hours a day, no problem, on the range, and still just as comfortable as ever. Concealment Solutions, phenomenal products. Jason Christensen's the owner. If something is wrong with it, let him know. He'll fix it. Okay? He stands by his product. This one in particular is a leather back. He does, I believe, still make one that's a horsehide, which is actually impervious to sweat. So it won't get that nasty, funky that some leather can get. Okay? Concealment Solutions Black Mamba. And then the other one I've got that's specific for the Glock 36 is another Concealment Solutions. This one's the Cobra. Okay, it's an outside the waistband belt holster that also is a very good solid retention. Okay, solid retention. Okay, this one is an all Kydex, and it is it's a shell, all Kydex shell, but the distinguishing factor is these right here. Okay, these are quick clips that he's come up with. I don't know if he made them. I don't know if he found them or what, but they're great. They allow for a real quick, easy on, easy off. I can just slide these on over my belt and they lock in really well. when I go to take the gun off, unlike a paddle holster, paddle holsters you kind of tug and pull and all like that, and they don't come loose as easy. These, I can pull this one, I can just work that one loose, and then literally rotate the holster where it's sticking out from my body, and the other clips release and slide it right off. Okay, extremely comfortable. This is one that I have that I mostly use for range use, or for if I'm out in the woods hiking or anything like that. I'll wear this a lot. But I've worn this one, had multiple, I've had probably 600-700 draws with this holster. This one's not as old as the other one, but it's an extremely comfortable and very solid holster. I plan on purchasing this one for every one of my firearms, and it's just, I can't say enough about it. It's a great holster. It's, like I said, it's the Concealment Solutions Cobra. You can get it with regular belt loops, but I love the quick clips. They're great. Okay. The last holster that I have also fits my Glock 19. Actually, it will fit any, this particular model will fit any of the standard size Glock firearms. So pretty much any of them other than the 42, 43, 43X, and I'm not positive on that, but the 48, I believe, have a smaller trigger guard. Okay, but this is my Glock 19. This is the Gen 5, and yes, Ameriglow IDOT sights. Okay, in case you're wondering. Okay, for this holster and for this gun and all my other Glocks that I carry, which I also have a 23. I carry this right here. This is the Q Series LLC, Gary Quisenberry. It's the stealth holster, and it is an inside the waistband, primarily designed for appendix carry. I'm a bigger guy, okay? I used to think couldn't do it, but this actually has become my normal day-to-day holster, okay? Because of the fact that, one, it's very minimal, it's very solid as far as the retention is concerned, but it also, I can switch from one gun to another as long as it's one of my Glock firearms, and I can just snap it right in here, okay? It's, like I said, very, very, very minimal, very small profile. This is a steel clip. You can purchase replacements if they ever spring on you. They make them for all of the Glock models, including the new ones, the 43, 42, 48, and then they have the rest of them all fit this one. They also have them for, I know, the XD series, I know the M&Ps, and I know the at least some of the SIGs, I believe. I'm not sure if all of them. Okay, but this is a great little holster, very minimal, like I said, and it's actually very comfortable. Even for a larger guy like myself, I can appendix carry with this holster, and it's actually very comfortable. It's more related to things like the muzzle length. If the gun is actually longer, it's easier for a big guy like me to carry, okay, in the appendix position. The other things I carry, and it depends on the day and how I'm carrying my firearm and so on. Mag carriers, I do have some Concealment Solution mag carriers that I love. I'm looking to get from, most likely from them, is one I'm going to test out and I hope to put a review on soon, is from a company called Mag Holder, which actually is a horizontal carrier. But then my others is standard everyday Black Hawk double stack magazine carrier. The reason I use this is I can fit my Glock 19 magazines, I can fit my Glock 23 magazines, I can fit my Glock 36 magazines in this, and it will hold them solid. The other one I use is, yet again, Q Series LLC. This is inside the waistband mag carrier. like I said, inside the waistband. So it's very, very low profile. If you're going somewhere where you don't want to advertise that you have a firearm or magazines on your belt, I've seen plenty of people who carry an inside the waistband holster, but then they stick their magazines on the belt. Not real visible. Or let me rephrase that. Very visible. Okay. But this one it's very solid. Same basic construction, spring steel clip. The one advantage is this, if you want to adjust it to a different magazine, which this one is made for a double stack, and it holds very, very, very solid. Okay. But there is a tension adjustment screw right there. Okay. It won't quite get large enough for my Glock 36 magazines, the 45s, because they are fatter than the 19s and the 23s. But that's okay. All right. Very comfortable. Yet again, wore these and used this in a 2-day class. I was actually with Gary Quisenberry, the owner of Q Series LLC. Wore it in his class, 2-day course, and I actually intentionally set this one up to be my primary reload. And every time we did a drill where I had to reload, I actually would end up bumping magazines up to this one to force me to use it more. And I can say that after 2 days, I love it. Okay. Other than that, what other things do I carry? I've mentioned before, I carry a knife. I've always got a knife. Okay, this particular one is a Camillus. Inexpensive, very sturdy, very sharp. I'll also carry, my other favorite knife brand is CRKT. In particular, I carry their M16. It's a very thin, very small knife, but it's as solid as it can get. I've used it. I don't carry my knives to fight with. At least that's not their initial designation. I carry a utility knife because there's more chance of me needing to cut something open than to cut someone open. And that's the way I plan everything. Other than that, I would like to give a little shout out to Gary Quisenberry, Q Series Holsters, Q Series LLC. I look forward to, I'm attempting to get everything worked out. We're going to try to host a Q Series course here, hopefully within the next year. I can't say when. But we're going to try to have another 2-day course. One day possibly will be classroom on mindset and awareness, and the other day will be range time. Nothing but shooting. And I can say that I've taken 3 of his courses, and they are absolutely top-notch and one of my favorite courses to take. So just be on the lookout for that. I'll post on the Facebook page, and I'll put on here when that's going to happen. But hopefully it will in the near future. If anybody has any questions, hit me up on the Facebook page, Kentucky Personal Defense and Safety. And I'll look forward to any questions you got, any comments. And I do ask, keep it civil, okay? Keep it civil, keep it clean, especially. If you aren't willing to say it in front of your kids or your family members, don't say it in a message to me, because I don't want to hear it. Okay? I respect your opinions, I respect your views, but I don't respect any nastiness. I mean, it just doesn't go anywhere. So, okay? But until next time, guys, stay safe and stay prepared.